how we can respond practically, implementing our ideas, taking business as a tool, and attend to the or respond to the challenges. And today we have with us our friend Shri Natraj ji, who has been into the field of both hardware and software, and also in public life, conducting sessions and camps for youths. So let us hear him out today and take up some business ideas and implement and come with a good a better business idea which can be implemented by students and can be acknowledged in the month of January in the form of a competition. So we will be in continuation with this program also. As a follow-up, again I will meet you, and I request Kavita ji, Savita ji to also be with us in this endeavor, and we take the help of the college also. Thank you. Now it's over to you, sir. Natraj ji.
I'm requesting all the students to mute yourself, please, so that we can have a smooth conduct of the program. Nadraji, you can please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Namaste and welcome to all of you to this session today on social entrepreneurship, as Mr. Naveen ji said. My name is Natraj Gudla. I am a software engineer working with Capgemini Software Solutions. This is a global company, an IT company. So I'm one of the directors in the company. I also am associated with an NGO called as Samskruti Foundation. Samskruti Foundation is partnering with MGNCRE to help pass on this message and motivate the youngsters and the youth to take up social entrepreneurship. Now, what is social entrepreneurship? We will see it shortly. I will spend the next 30 to 40 minutes talking to you about different ideas, how we must think about them, what is the best way to go ahead, and how you all can make a difference to the problems in the society. After that, we will take some time for any question or answers that we can give it to them, so that it is clear to you on what you could do as a next step. Okay. I will now share my screen, and I would request someone to confirm if you can see the screen that I'm presenting. Ma'am, will you be able to confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can hear. We can see the screen, sir.
Thank you very much. So, as I said, I belong to Samskruti Foundation, an NGO which works on the tagline of being good and doing good. We do an yearly campaign on the motto given by Swami Vivekananda, which has always been that you have to be good yourself towards the society, and you have to do good to the society. That is the motto of our foundation. We have now collaborated with MGNCRE on this campaign of driving social entrepreneurship, and I am one of the speakers helping you today. Now, a very brief 2-minute introduction of what Samskruti Foundation is. As I said, it works towards upholding the Indian cultural values of the Indian society, taking them to the younger generation through modern tools and techniques. So we try to do a lot of nation building activities by encouraging the youth to do a lot of social work for the society. A quick glimpse for you on different activities we do every year. As I just said, the Be Good and Do Good is one of our campaign. We also do activities about yoga for youngsters. We do a unique program where we tie Rakhis to soldiers. Our Indian soldiers, every year once, we take students who can tie Rakhis to the soldier. We do a lot of debate programs amongst the youth. We also do a campaign called Gifting a National Flag on Independence Day and Republic Day. All these activities are aimed at creating national awareness, social awareness within the youngsters of the country, whereby they become people who can contribute and solve social problems in the country. A quick glimpse for you of the Vivek Band campaign. As I said, every January, on occasion of Swami Vivekananda Ji Jayanti, we encourage students to do a lot of good activities in the society. Social entrepreneurship is also one of the good activities, and hence we are here under this banner to help you understand what is social entrepreneurship. A quick glimpse, some photographs of. Sorry.
Sorry.
So, a pictorial view for you of some photographs of our activities that we perform every year under Samskruti Foundation. We also host large events with different eminent personalities also in the society. Now, that was a very brief 2 minutes introduction of what is Samskruti Foundation and what activities we do. Coming to our main topic, why social entrepreneurship, right? We just heard from Naveen ji that two things are always constant, right? One is a need and one is a change. Imagine 200, 300 years back, there was no proper medication, for example. We had expectancy ratio which was very low. People died at a very young age. You must have heard from your grandmothers, grandfathers, great grandmothers, great grandfathers through stories that during those days when child was born, the expectancy that the child would live and grow up to an adult was very low because the medical field was not so advanced. Sanitation was not so well understood, right? A lot of children used to die at a very young age. But you see it now, today, as of today, things have changed. We all have become aware. We all have become how to take care of ourselves. We all know how well we can take care of ourselves as a society. Now, why did it happen? It happened because there was always a need to do something better. There was always a need for a change in the society. We heard of those two words from Naveen ji earlier. Why social entrepreneurship? Now, what do you call as entrepreneurship, right? If I, for a moment, forget about or keep that word aside, entrepreneurship, we all deal with a number of social problems day in, day out. What kind of problems, you may ask? All of us see around, right? Very, very simple, basic problems like some areas do not have proper sanitation at all. You go to villages, they do not follow basic amenities of cleanliness. We see it very well, right? All of us see it. There are children in villages, there are children in government schools who do not have basic facilities. As simple as a lot of girl students in many government schools or even schools, private schools in the villages also, they do not have proper facilities like bathrooms, right? We have many, many small problems that can be solved with no great investment. It only needs time as an investment, time from us. It only needs your intellectual investment. That is your thought, your idea is what is your investment. It only needs you to socialize and gather support from your friends. That is all it needs for you to solve a social problem. If you see in your village, if you see in your college that you do not have a proper shade, for example, because of which you may be encountering challenges during summer. I'm just taking an example. All it takes for you is to form a group and put some plants around, water them. It can for tomorrow grow, give you greenery. Okay? It could be as simple as you going to educate children nearby or in villages of how to keep themselves clean, right? It could be as good as you spending some time to prepare in today's world, right? Corona is so much widespread. There are many people who may still not be able to afford sanitizers. You can, as students, devise small, ideas to actually prepare. Can you hear me? I was muted, sorry.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you now.
So you can, as students, think of social problems around you, which are day in, day out, where you all that investment is required from you is your time, your intent, your support, which comes as your friends, that you can form an idea, implement that idea, and you can make a difference. We will talk of a number of examples in the future slides. But social entrepreneurship is needed because not every problem in a large country like India can be solved by the government or can be solved by any other department we have around. We are a country which is formed based on societies. We are also a country which have a lot of challenges as a society which stop development. For example, every new thing that is rolled out by the government doesn't reach everyone. Okay, so we do have a lot of social challenges on the ground, like as I just told you, sanitation problems. Sometimes vegetation is a problem. Sometimes there are no proper plantations as a problem. Sometimes there are students who do not get proper teaching, for example, right? Which leads to them not becoming or not being eligible for good education. Right? So there are a number of problems in the society, as good as simple as people not following basic rules on the road while they are driving, right? Although rules are there, they do not follow. You have to constantly keep them reminding that wearing a helmet, for example, is very important for their own safety, right? So we all see so many problems around us, which not always are solvable by the administration that we have around. But you as students, right, you can come up with many innovative ideas to solve these problems around you. Okay, so social entrepreneurship is needed, is the need of the hour, and it is a continuous activity. Right, every day we see every new problem that arises. Plastic is being littered everywhere. Now, is there a solution to how best to use plastic? There may be. You see a lot of cattle actually throwing their dung around wherever they go. Can you use the byproducts or the excreta of cattle for many other multi-purposes? Yes, you could, right? There are stories about it. So how do you actually, with very minimum investment, more investment from your side as time, as intent, about social entrepreneurship? Okay, I just move on to the next slide. So this idea of moving from being a problem talker to a solution seeker is what is at the core of social entrepreneurship. Don't limit yourself to talking about the problems, but start thinking about solutions. of how you can solve those problems. Every day morning, I may see plastic being dumped in my college, and there is no proper, discipline around it. Don't complain. Try to solve the problem. One example I can give you that we implemented in one of the college. We asked the college to, we challenged them, in fact, to say that can you become plastic free? They asked us how is it possible. One idea that we gave them is in your canteen or wherever you sell any eatables, remove your plastic covers and ask your students to prepare bags made out of paper. We all know newspapers, right? People can take newspapers, prepare bags out of it, which is very, very simple, very easy. All that it requires is an adhesive, a gum, and all that you need is a thread so that it becomes a bag for you to be carried. So we ask the students to contribute by taking waste at their home, prepare bags made out of paper, give it to the cafeteria, so the cafeteria person can start using those paper bags instead of using plastic. Right? I may complain every day saying plastic is everywhere, but I have to stop somewhere and say, how can I solve the problem? I gave you one example, right? So you as students might see a lot of problems around you, but you have to move from being a problem talker to a solution seeker. Okay? And you all are capable of doing it. You all are capable of doing it because you are youngsters of the country. You have the energy, you have the passion, and more importantly, you have the energy. Right? The energy of this nation lies in the youth like you. Few more things before we go into some ideas, right? I would like to share with you some examples or some ideas that solved problems. Okay, so that you know how small ideas, these were all small ideas. Okay, these are all small ideas which started and they became big. You will be able to relate to all of them. So before I do that, ma'am, a quick check. I'm sure you are still able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see the screen, sir.
Thank you so much. So have you thought of how best to use discarded carton boxes? We all deal with it nowadays, right? With economy booming so much, with malls and shops increasing so much, every town now developing so much, right? Imagine the amount of carton boxes. When I say carton boxes, I'm sure all of us know it. Carton boxes are nothing but where you buy something, you get that delivered to you in a box, right? Made out of hard carton box or hard paper that you call it, brown color ones. But what do we do with those boxes generally? Is that once we get something home, we take out that item from the carton box and we discard the carton box. We sell it to the kabadi wala who comes, who takes it away. But there was an NGO, there was a group of people who actually solved a problem in the society using these discarded carton boxes. You can search for this NGO called Aram. It is based out of Mumbai. What did it do? It found that government school children did not have proper furniture to sit and take classes. All of us are able to now sit on chairs and be able to take the classes. But many government schools across India, I think, lack some basic facilities. So what this NGO did, they took the carton boxes, they designed tables using hard cotton boxes, right? So it forms a table. It also they also developed chairs where students could sit, form a table, and they had a chair and a table to sit and write. They also formed bags for the students because a lot of students couldn't afford a proper bag. So they, out of the carton boxes, they formed bags, very easily carryable bags that were given to the students. And do you know what is the cost of each item that they incurred? 10 rupees. 10 rupees is what is the investment they had to make per bag or per desk through collecting all discarded carton boxes. Now, discarded carton boxes, you can imagine, they are around you day in, day out, right? You can go to any big showroom and he can give you any number of carton boxes you want if you convince him that they can be used for solving a social problem, right? One example for you, just to motivate you that yes, it is possible. Some things that you may think is a waste beside you is actually useful for somebody else in the society. Have you heard of this person, Madhu Pandit Dasa? I don't know how many of you know, but this man was actually a monk. He wanted to make sure to feed people food. He saw in the society that a lot of people do not have food, especially children. Okay? They do not have food to eat. Sometimes elders, old age people. Now he started going to people, forming groups to convince them to say, we have to do something so that we can feed them at least once in a day. He did not need any investment. All that he did is people around him, his organization, he had to convince them to say, let's do something like this. It started off with a very small idea in a small area to feed a certain set of set of people or students or elders. Okay, slowly and slowly it spread. It spread so much that today all of us know it has become Akshaya Patra, run by ISKCON. All of us have heard about Akshaya Patra, but how it started? It started from one person trying to solve a problem that he saw around him. He saw that children, some old age people were going hungry. They did not get the right food or meal even per day. All of us need not, form another Akshaya Patra organization, but it's a problem around you, in your area, in your colony, in your locality. Can you do something? Can you gather people to motivate them to solve this problem? Because malnutrition is one of the biggest problem India is facing today. That children go hungry, they don't get the right amount of nutrition, so they do not develop mentally, which is a loss for the country in terms of intellectual. Another small problem that this guy, Arunachalam Muruganathan, he's from Tamil Nadu, right? I'm sure if you people have heard about him. He saw that his mother, his sister, had problems maintaining their hygiene. He didn't know how to solve it. He spent many years thinking of how to solve the problem. But it started as a small observation that he wanted to solve a problem which he thought impacts every other woman in the society. Okay? He thought that women's sanitation needs are not taken care. So he went on to actually design the low-cost sanitary pads. All of us may have known about it. It later became to be he was called the Pad Man. There was a movie also made on his life uh, by Akshay Kumar, right? Pad Man movie. This guy wanted to solve a social problem which impacted every woman. It started with a small idea and it was not easy, but he gathered support and he did it, and at a very low cost, sometimes no cost at all. Shubhendu Sharma. I don't know if you have heard of this guy. I'm just giving you examples, right? Which these are all success stories which started with very, very small ideas around you. These people saw that there was a problem around. Nobody came to them and told them that here is a problem, go solve it. In their day to day life, They saw that there is a problem that has to be solved. Okay, this guy Shubhendu Sharma, he thought that he has to plant trees because in the place where he lived, in the area that he lived, he thought there is a lot of open land. Greenery is very less because all of us know growing plants, growing greenery helps the atmosphere, climate, rainfall, soil erosion, a lot of things, right? He, as a single person, all that he did is he started planting trees at no cost because trees are available. You can go to any municipal corporation, you can go to one place, get a lot of trees, plug them and plant it at some other place, right? So this person just went on planting trees at no cost. And later, slowly when he started doing it, he later created 4 huge man-made forests. Starting from planting few trees, when he saw a problem that the number of trees around him were less, he went on to create 4 huge man-made forests. See what is the difference people can make. What is the difference a group of people can make? What is the difference an individual can make? If you can cast your eyes, if you can be aware that there are challenges around you, there are people facing challenges. It could be school children, it could be elders, it could be as simple as not having trees in your area. It could be as simple as sanitation not being followed by children in villages. We all see it day in day out, right? In the corona days, right, it could be as simple as people actually not knowing how to wash their hands properly, or it could be people not being able to afford buying some basic sanitation. You can always solve a problem in the society as an individual with very minimum investment. These are some of the examples that I wanted to bring forward. There are many more where people create basic needs are handled by just putting forward ideas. Okay, it always starts with single person, single thought. Now, what you all can do, right? I've told you some examples. I told you what is social entrepreneurship, why it is needed, what can we all do, right? We all can make a difference, and I'm throwing some ideas with you to tell you that these are the areas that you could probably focus on, which probably need requirement, right, in the society as of now to do something different and solve those problems. What you see on the screen is a lot of broad areas, right, which where problems lie as of today, and these are only guidance for you. There could be many more areas. Simple example of sanitation that I already covered. During COVID times, it is even more important. Can you as students prepare? I'm just giving you an idea. Maybe soaps with a very low cost material that you get at home. You can always form soaps, right? Shampoos, uh, all the home ingredients can be used to make shampoos, for example. Detergents or soaps that you can use to wash your hands. You can make sanitizers, right? Very simple chemicals. If you mix them, you need not even go and buy in the supermarkets. All that you need to do is mix a couple of chemicals and it becomes a good solution for you, which will work to wash your hands. Can you as students form groups in preparing them and distributing them to people who need them today, right? There are villages, there are a lot of people on the roads, there are people who are homeless who do not even know to wear a mask, right? In COVID times, a mask is an essential nowadays. Can we come together and contribute our time to actually prepare masks for people to be distributed who do not have masks, right? So all the hygiene factors, sanitation factors today in the COVID times, for me, is still a social problem. I still see a lot of people, for various reasons, not wearing a mask at all. Either, I'm not saying they cannot afford it, but many of the people may not know why a mask is required. But can you, as students, do something about it? Begin some activity, right, which can solve the problem. Plantations is another area, right? You see a lot of development happening in the country. At the same time, we also lose a lot of greenery. Now, what happens when you lose greenery? All of us are aware. Can you do something about plantations? You have your colleges, you have your home, you have your colonies. There is a lot to be done around plantations. Can you plant trees? Can you plant saplings? Can you make it a movement as a college, as a group, that every month can you take a pledge that you are going to plant so many number of saplings, and you will make sure that you water them until they grow big? Or you could even plant, or you could even plant those trees which give fruits. I'm just giving you an idea, an example. Or you plant those plantations whose byproduct can be used for other purposes. Other idea could be multi-use items of using paper and plastic. How many times did we throw away? I'll give you one example. The pens and the pencils we use, a lot of times once we use them for a certain time, we throw them away. But if you use your pens and pencils, you can actually form small boxes, container boxes, right? You can form paper stands, pen stands. Can you use those waste items to prepare pen or paper stands and sell them, make money? Your cost is very less, but you could use waste to sell them, or you could waste to prepare some things which you can contribute to the society to solve problems, which we just said, right? Carton boxes was one of the examples. Then I talked about preparation of sanitizers. Compost, right? We all know that a lot of times in the recent days, plantations, although they are done, they are not properly maintained. Compost preparation and distribution can be one more idea. Now, how is compost made? Compost is made from the waste from your home. I hope all of you know, right? There is a wet waste, there is a dry waste. Even the fruits that you eat and the peel of the fruit is also an ingredient to make a compost. The vegetables that you use, right, before you cut the vegetables, the skin of the vegetables is an ingredient for the compost. Any item which is not cooked and becomes stale is an ingredient for the compost. Can you come up with an idea where you collect these ingredients from households and you prepare a compost dump somewhere? It becomes a compost that can be used by a village, maybe by a colony, to grow trees, or for any other purposes. Last but not the least, right? Social entrepreneurship is not just about physically, showing something that you have created. It can also be a contribution in terms of your time. So the last point says, can you pool your spare hours for social work? I'll give you an example. You as students, right? You are all educated, but there are many slums. There are many areas where children do not go to school properly. Even if they go to school, their parents are not well educated. They cannot make their students study. Can you as students come together and pool the number of hours you can spend for the society? Let's say you are 45 students. I can see 45 participants here. Let's say 40 students are there. Even if you can give 1 hour per week, it becomes 40 hours in a week. Can that 40 hours be spent to go to a slum area, educate the children, educate the parents about how to live life better, how to overcome challenges that they have, Can you teach a student who doesn't have proper teaching facilities? So pooling your spare hours is also a kind of social entrepreneurship, not just always materialistically, right? So don't think that only by planting trees or preparing a small product or selling it is always social entrepreneurship. Even your time is an investment. The time you spend is also an idea. How well you spend your time towards this is very, very important. There are organizations who actually source available hours from people, and they use those hours for a better cause, like teaching, for many other causes, right? So what I want to say is that it is easy, it is simple, that you can form an idea to solve a problem around you. Okay, so what it takes? It takes simple ideas, it requires a social angle, it requires smaller steps. That's all. No other investment. And all of this is possible, is within you. You as students can come up with very, very simple ideas. Anything that you throw away in the future, think whether that can solve a problem around you. Any problem that irritates you in the society when you step out, don't get too irritated or don't get too impatient. Think whether can you solve that problem with a simple idea. Then every idea propagate requires a social angle, and then how you implement it is in very, very small steps. Do not try to do something big straight away, but take it small, take it one by one.
Clean nowadays.
Can you go on mute whoever is not speaking, please? So what it takes from you is simple idea, it's a social angle that is required, smaller steps, and finally it requires your time, right? Your motivation. And you all, as I said, are the youngsters who are going to shape India for future. It is only possible through you, right? You are our future. You are the guys who will make a change in the social society to solve problems. Okay. On that note, I would like to end my topic. It has been like last 30 minutes I spoke. In fact, 40 minutes, I suppose. If there are any questions, or Naveenji, if you want to add any more point, we can take it now.
Thank you, Natraj. So, Naveen ji, I would like to ask about both to Natraj and Naveen ji, how students can contribute their business plans. We were talking about a competition. So how they can take part, how students can submit the project proposals.
Now after a while, by the end of the program, I will share a link which will which has to be filled by the students with their business plans. Of course, I will also share that link with you after the program also, because immediately the students may not have business plans, but it is expected that after 5 days or 1 week, before 1 week of this program, they can come up with some business ideas which can be implemented and which are pocket friendly. And also, like, what I would like to say, we can give a business plan by performance, which are based on performance in the sense singing, dancing, drama skills. Business plans based on skills, like somebody is very good at repairing bicycle or a fan or a tube light or an iron box or a electric cooker all these things. So based on skill also we can start good new business tools. And in the same way, we can also do it based on product, making some products at home and selling. And not only that, but market based, like getting things wholesale and giving it retail. So in this way, we can have a basket of ideas. And Savita ji, I will share few ideas also. And with those ideas, again, the faculty of the institution can orient. And also I'm available if we can have one more half an hour session or so. So in that way, within 1 week, we can come up with business ideas. Relentlessly, we will be thinking for this 1 week and start implementing it. So in this way, there can be a follow-up and also business ideas sprouting up. And anything, Natraj, would you like to add to this?
No, I think Naveenji, you covered it well. I think one of the point was that even your skill is an investment towards being a social entrepreneur. So I would want students to also think of what they're good at. Maybe that can contribute towards creating a new idea or solving an existing problem. But that's a very valid point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now in the chat box also, I will post around 65 ideas, and those 65 ideas can be made by students into 165 ideas also, because I don't want limit our wisdom and our expansion of mind. And students have got a potential in them that they can give many implementable, affordable ideas. So 65 ideas I can share with you right now in the chat box. And today's entire program is making every student to come to an excited level, activate themselves, and in this dimension, work in this dimension. Implementation activity is very important than knowledge. It is activity that gives knowledge, but not knowledge gives activity. That is a strong belief of our ancestors also. So through activity, let us gain a noble knowledge for ourselves. So in that way, I would like to put. And Savita ji, you could also add points after listening. You could give impressions, and we can take impressions from students as well.
So, dear students, most of you here are from the commerce stream, and உங்களுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் doubts இருந்தா உங்களுக்கு டைரக்டா கேட்கலாம், இல்ல chat boxலயும் நீங்க டைப் பண்ணலாம். காமர்ஸ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் தான் டைப் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு இல்ல, everyone. As part of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Youth Red Cross, we have been, even our Prime Minister is even our Prime Minister is talking about entrepreneurship, innovation. நம்ம படிக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்ல, கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல படிக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்ல, நம்மளே 4 பேருக்கு வேலை கொடுக்கறவங்களா மாறணும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு கான்செப்ட் வச்சுட்டு உன்னத் பாரத் அபியான் என்ன சொல்லுது அப்படின்னா, நீங்க வில்லேஜஸ்ல போய் அங்க புதுசா ஒவ்வொரு சோசியல் ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் அங்க இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணணும், உங்களோட ஐடியாஸ் அங்க இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணணும். அதான் உன்னத் பாரத் அபியானோட நோக்கமே. சோ இங்க உங்களுக்கு யூ ஹவ் காட் செவரல் ஐடியாஸ். உங்களுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் தோணுது? இப்போ நட்ராஜி பேசும்போது சொன்னாங்க மாஸ்க் மேக்கிங், சோப்பு பண்றது. இப்ப நம்ம ஊர்ல சுய உதவி குழுக்கள் மூலமா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், உங்க பேரண்ட்ஸ், உங்க அம்மா எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க, சோப்பு பண்ணுவாங்க, நிறைய சின்ன சின்ன சிறு தொழில்கள் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. சோ உங்களுக்கு அது இன்னும் ஒரு டைரக்ஷன், ஒரு கைடன்ஸோட எடுத்துட்டு போறதுக்காக தான் இன்னைக்கு ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோம். உங்களுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் தோணுது, நாங்க பண்றதும் இதுக்கு கீழே வருமா அப்படின்னு கூட தோணுனா கூட யூ கேன் ஷேர் யுவர் தாட்ஸ் ஹியர். கூச்சப்பட வேண்டாம். ஏன்னா கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல படிக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்ல, you have to bring it into your real life. நம்மளோட நிஜ வாழ்க்கையில நம்ம அது கொண்டு வரணும். அதுதான் இந்த ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சியோட நோக்கமே. நீங்க உங்களோட ஐடியாஸ் கொண்டு வரணும். நம்மளுக்கு ஏற்கனவே தெரிஞ்சிருக்கிறத ஒரு business plan நம்ம மாத்தி கொண்டு வரணும், which will help for the development of the society, a sustainable development of the society. நிரந்தரமான ஒரு வளர்ச்சி பாதையை நோக்கி நாம பயணம் செய்ய வேண்டும். So you can share your thoughts here.
ஆமாம் சரிங்க. ஆமாம், this is correct actually. Madam சொன்னாரு, you can also use chat box and also have a question. Language is not a barrier. Madam would also help. Siria சின்ன ideas மேல நீங்க I mean please work on that. And எனக்கு தமிழ் சுத்தமா தெரியாது, மன்னிக்கவும். And work on that, and we will ensure that we will come out with viable, practical, small business concepts where we can also learn business dynamics and consumer delight also. And we will see that we will definitely attend to the responses. For example, இப்போ malnutrition இருக்கு, இது சொசைட்டில ஒரு பெரிய பிரச்சனை. இது malnutrition மேலே we can use our business tool. சத்து மாவு prepare பண்ணி we can sell it. அந்த மாதிரி. Now over to the participants.
Even உங்களுக்கு you can even share. இப்ப எனக்கே தெரியும், நம்ம ஊர்ல வந்து பப்படம் செய்வாங்க, நம்ம வீட்லயே செய்யறது இருக்கலாம். உங்களுக்கு அந்த அனுபவம் இருந்தாலும் you can share.
I can give you one example which we have implemented in the main market. We get tomato for 2 rupees. In market it is 20 rupees, 25 rupees. Market charge we can just take from the farmers directly and sell it 10 rupees in the slums, or in the, I don't want to use the word slum, in the financially weaker segments. So ipo 25 rupees, 15 rupees also many people cannot afford it. That is very huge amount. In the cities there are many people who cannot put 10 rupees per kilo per tomato. And as students, they go early in the morning, they have a car and they will get from the market directly and sell it at the easy price, affordable price to economically weaker segments. இதுதா ஒரு பெரிய contribution. So இந்த மாதிரி சிறிய ideas வச்சு we can start and have a startup and dynamics also. இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய creative ideas இருக்கு. So இப்போ நம்மளுடைய immediate கர்த்தவியம், responsibility is focus இந்த மாதிரி ஐடியாஸ் மேல ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணி அதில் நோட்ஸ் பண்ணி நீங்க வாங்க, ரீஜனல் லெவல் கான்ஃபரன்ஸுக்கு, நேஷனல் லெவல் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்க்கு வாங்க. நான் ஜனவரியில பிப்ரவரியில இது நான் செய்கிறேன். அதில் நம்மளுடைய ஐயப்பா காலேஜோட மாணவர்களுக்கு இது ஒரு முக்கியமான இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் விஷயம். அது ஒரு பக்கம், இன்னொரு பக்கம் நம்மளுடைய நாடுக்கே இது பெரிய விஷயம். ஒர்க்கிங் ஆன் சோஷியல் என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப். சோ இப்போ உங்களுடைய கைகள்ல 3 வருஷம் இருக்கு. 3 years if you are studying in first year, second year, third year. இது 3 yearsக்கு அப்புறம் நீங்க you should not become a job seeker, but you should become a job giver. இது என்னுடைய ஆசீர்வாதமும் என்னுடைய desire also. Yeah.
Naveen ji, I think Natraj ji has another session. He has to leave our platform. Thank you so much, Natraj Gudla ji, and also I think Abhinav from Samskruti Foundation, who has joined us. Of course, we will be sharing we have recorded it and we will be sharing this. Thank you so much. இன்னைக்கு ஒரு நல்ல தொடக்கம் இது. We will be continuing this, continuing sessions on social enterprise business plans, as Naveen ji was telling. Naveen ji, with the hope that Natraj ji is still here, let me extend my thanks to you also.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Samskruti Foundation, for choosing for our college, for giving us an opportunity.
இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் முதல் காலேஜ், இது முதல் கல்லூரி, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் in our series. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great.